You know what else this weekend is, don't you? Don't worry about the paper. You know that you have to spend $50 for an AEW pay-per-view where you're going to watch 4 hours of nonstop chaos and just endless repetitive nonsense. Or you can spend, what does a movie ticket cost these days, Brian? I didn't actually pay to get into the world premiere of my movie. I hate to reveal that I was mooching off of the theater, but I didn't. So, but a movie ticket, $12 maybe, something like that these days.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say 50 if you want to get a popcorn.
Oh, come on.
Goobers and Milk Duds.
What about a Raisinette?
I'm not a big raisin
but
fan.
no, instead of spending $50 on a pay-per-view with all that nonsense, you can spend a mere pittance, whatever it is, to go to the movies these days. You can tell I'm a sociable character. And see the Queen of the Ring in a small starring role. Why didn't they credit me also starring or special guest appearance by? Now, see, I should have negotiated better. But nevertheless, I'm lobbying with the Academy of Arts and Sciences because what I did wasn't a science, but it might have been some kind of art. And I'm going to get some kind of recognition at next year's Oscars. See, I'm afraid that this is coming out now right after the Oscar ceremony. If people will have time to forget about my brilliant debut performance by the time of next year's honorariums roll around. But anyway, Queen of the Ring at a theater near you on March the 7th. So people either right now or soon after or a day ago or whenever this thing comes out, you got to rush and flock and cheer for me when I appear on screen. I'm expecting that's going to be another groundswell of support across America, Brian, like The Rock. People are going to get goosebumps when they see me on the screen, and they're going to burst into spontaneous, not combustion, but applause. Applause is what I'm going for. I want the adulation.
You know, we're going to find out he had those goosebumps surgically implanted in his arm or something.
No, he's got some kind of fucking electric sex toy from Denmark stuck in between his taint and his balls. And whenever he wants to, he hits it and woo, shit.
This is all the buildup to his new psoriasis cream or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. If you got the heartbreak of roxiasis, I'm sorry.
Have you thought about going to the theater, standing in the back of the room and just watching the reaction to your appearance?
Well, I just did. At the premiere, I wasn't in the back of the room.
They knew you were there. They knew you were there. You didn't get the true reaction.
No, I snuck in the dark, see? Like, I had sunglasses on because I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. But I got the biggest laugh of the, did I tell you this? I got the biggest fucking pop laugh of them because it's not a comedy. So it's not like it was hard to get the biggest laugh, but I got the biggest laugh. Did I tell you about this?
No, you did not.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything for people that haven't seen the flick, but how can I say this just to give people impart the general idea? In one of the scenes that I am in, we mentioned when we talked to Ash Avildsen, who was the director and wrote the screenplay. He's a one-man band. He's got a record company, I think a comic book company, and he plays another small but pivotal role in this. But now don't think he put himself in because he was the booker, because his role is smaller than mine in his own movie. So he was very, he was spreading it around. But when I introduce Mildred Burke to the character that Ash Avildsen plays in the movie, I won't tell you what the character he plays is. You got to wait and see it, but that's what gets the pop from the audience. It's fun. See, I can't really explain it without blowing it, but it's funny who Ash is playing. Let's just put it that way. So I got no finish for this bit. You drug it out of me.
That was a great story, a really funny moment, and of course you can see more funny,
just a hilarious
like
moment.
Yeah, Queen of the Ring.
They were rolling in the aisles, Brian. But yes, Queen of the Ring at a theater near you, and soon to be nominated for next year's Academy Awards for at least my performance. And Camille was great too. In all honesty, now, not like I haven't been being honest, but even more honestly, She was fucking great for as acting wise for somebody who's not ever been in a movie or acted before.
That's what I was going to ask you. I obviously haven't seen the movie yet, but like someone like Camille who's playing a pivotal role, how much of that role is just in ring and how much of it is actually, she did scenes and there's dialogue, etc.
She has dialogue, yes, and that's I mean a lot of her scenes are well, a lot of there's more of Camille wrestling than there is anybody else in the film because she's kind of the best wrestler of anybody in the film and had the biggest part in terms of that respect. But she has a bunch of dialogue and has to have various emotions and say things and all the things that the actors do. And she very, very accomplished at that. It's, boy, somebody ought to take this 6 foot, whatever tall, statuesque, muscular, athletic, well-rounded actress that is currently starring in a movie that's opening across the country and later the world and use them in their wrestling company somehow.
Now that you saw the finished product, could you even envision Charlotte Flair in that role? Or did Camille nail it? Like, it's impossible to you would have seen Charlotte, you wouldn't have seen the character.
That's the thing that I said that to Ash when we talked to him. I think in retrospect, for a wider audience, because there were not, at least in the theater that I was in, there was 2 showings of the thing. But it wasn't like a predominantly wrestling fan audience. There was many people there that didn't know anything about the wrestling business per se, but I think you would see Charlotte, and Camille maybe just fits this better because she's not as the statuesque. Hey, ladies, statuesque.
She's a lady.
She's a lady, but she's not as statuesque and aloof and an ice queen as Charlotte is. And I think Charlotte also, for a period piece, the 40s and 50s, she doesn't look like I'd have to see her in some kind of makeup to put her in the 40s or 50s. I don't know how they'd do that. She seems a more modern lass, but anyway.
Well, there it is, Queen of the Ring. And of course, I think if you're watching wrestling, you are probably seeing a lot of commercials on Netflix. They had commercials for Queen of the Ring during Raw this week. I've seen them on, I think, AEW TV. I think I saw them on the CW for NXT. So they've got an advertising budget. Word's getting around.
And again, a lot of the non-wrestling fan media, the regular people, the regular folks out there in society, they seem to be liking it as a movie. So I'm heartened by that.
I understand he's already working on the follow-up about Tom Burke.
Hey, actually, we're gonna find out in that one that Tom was the illegitimate son of Mildred Burke and Billy Wolfe when they were working in Massachusetts, and they left him on the doorstep of an orphanage.